0513 local time. The sea is glass smooth. The air barely moves. Deep inside the carrier's combat information center, the steady pulse of passive sonar fills the room. Green traces slide across dark screens. The watch is routine, predictable, quiet. Then the sound changes. A sharp spike cuts through the background noise. Brief, artificial, impossible to ignore. Transient. The word is spoken softly, but everyone hears it. The sonar operator leans closer, eyes fixed on the display. The contact is not drifting like marine life. It is not moving with the current. It is gaining speed. Another update comes in. New contact, high speed, bearing 274. No alarms, no flashing lights, just calm voices and fast hands. The operator tightens the filters. The contact becomes clearer. A clean acoustic pattern rises from the noise. Mechanical, balanced, deliberate. Then the call comes. Object in the water. The room changes instantly. Not chaos, not shouting. Pure focus. Every screen updates at once. The contact's speed climbs. Its depth settles. Its bearing stays steady. A voice says it plainly. Torpedo launch confirmed. Above them, on the bridge, the carrier continues on course. From the outside, nothing seems different. No sudden turn, no visible reaction. 80,000 tons of steel keep moving forward, carving a white line through calm blue water. Below decks, the clock has already started. The tactical display redraws itself. A red vector extends from a point hidden beneath the surface, aimed straight toward the ship. Range is closing. Time to impact under 7 minutes. No announcement is needed. No siren has to sound. Everyone in the room understands exactly what the numbers mean. The sonar operator keeps reporting, voice controlled. Active guidance suspected, course correcting. That detail changes everything. This is not an unguided object. It is listening. It is adjusting. The officer of the watch speaks without raising his voice. Condition 1, anti-submarine warfare. The order moves through the carrier faster than any sound through water. On the flight deck, sailors stop mid-step. Aircraft crews pause with hands still on panels. The only sounds outside are turbines, wind, and the distant rush of the sea. Inside CIC, more contacts appear and vanish as the system strips away clutter. Temperature layers, marine noise, background echoes, until only the track that matters remains. The torpedo's path is clean now. Its speed is steady. Its direction is unmistakable. It is coming for the carrier. The captain enters without ceremony. He does not ask for an explanation. He looks at the display, studies it for a second, and gives one quiet nod. Maintain course. The order lands heavier than a shout. Holding course is not hesitation. It is geometry. Turn too early, and a smart torpedo can refine its solution. React too soon, and the carrier may make itself easier to follow, so the ship stays steady. The torpedo accelerates again. Speed increasing. Depth steady. At another console, a watchstander maps the water column. The acoustic profile suggests a heavyweight design. Long endurance built to threaten large surface vessels. Another update follows. Closing fast, 6 minutes. The room is almost silent now, except for voices, keys, and the soft hum of electronics. Every word is exact. Every second is logged. Then the torpedo seeker goes active. A new sound appears in the headphones, faint, high-pitched, unmistakable. Active ping detected. That is the moment uncertainty disappears. This is no random contact, no false reading, no passing shadow beneath the waves. It is committed. Still, the carrier does not turn. Outside, the horizon looks exactly as it did 5 minutes earlier. Sunlight flashes on the water. The sky is open and empty. Inside the ship, the ocean has become a grid of meters, seconds, angles, and decisions. The tactical plot updates again. The red vector moves closer. The calculations tighten. 5 minutes. The captain speaks again. Prepare countermeasures. Stand by. Not yet. The torpedo corrects once more, adjusting toward the carrier's wake pattern. It is learning. It is closing. The sonar operator exhales slowly. No decoys deployed. Holding. Everyone knows why. Deploy too early and the torpedo may adapt. Wait too long and there may not be time for another move. This is the thin line where training meets instinct. 4 minutes. The carrier still holds her course. Somewhere below the surface, metal races toward metal, guided by sound, speed, and intent. And in the next moments, no longer measured in minutes but in heartbeats, everything is about to change. 0516 local time. The torpedo is still running. Inside the Combat Information Center, the tactical picture tightens even more. The red vector remains steady. But now there is something else. At first, it is subtle. Then it becomes impossible to ignore. A second pattern rises beneath the noise floor. New contact. The sonar operator listens again. Low frequency, slow mover. No one asks what it might be. Everyone already understands what it has to be. The system begins peeling the ocean apart layer by layer. Thermal distortion, marine life, background noise, until one acoustic fingerprint remains. Long, cylindrical, controlled propulsion pulses, spaced with military precision. The room goes still, everyone leaning closer to the screens. Shooter contact developing. That changes the entire picture. The incoming torpedo is no longer only a danger. Now it is a trail. Track the weapon and you can trace it back to whoever launched it. The fire control team overlays the torpedo's path with possible launch angles. Lines tighten, possibilities disappear. A shaded cone forms on the display, pointing backward through the dark water. An invisible funnel leading into the deep. There, someone says quietly. A single point begins to stabilize at the edge of the cone. Range, several thousand yards. Depth, well below the thermal layer. Speed, minimal. It is hiding. The torpedo updates again, making a small correction toward the carrier's wake. Its seeker is working exactly as designed. The distance keeps shrinking. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. The captain studies the display. No drama, no delay. Launch the helicopter. Above decks, rotor blades begin to turn. Their sound rolls across the water. Deep, heavy, unmistakable. A helicopter lifts cleanly from the flight deck and banks away from the carrier, nose dipping as it races toward the shaded cone on the tactical plot. Inside CIC, every eye now splits between two battles. One object is closing in. One hunter is about to be found. The helicopter crew says little. They do not need to. Their path is already shaped by the data streaming up from the ship. Dipping sonar in 2 minutes, comes the comm report over the net. The torpedo pings again, louder than before. Active guidance confirmed. The room takes it in without reaction. Then the carrier finally changes speed. Not a turn. Not yet. Just a controlled increase, enough to disturb the acoustic picture without giving the torpedo an easier solution. The wake grows thicker. The water behind the ship becomes louder, messier, harder to read. The torpedo responds. Weapon corrected, sonar reports. Still tracking. No relief, no frustration, only information. 3 minutes. The helicopter reaches its station and settles into a low hover, barely above the surface. A cable drops. The sonar dome disappears beneath the waves. Everyone waits. Seconds stretch. Then the call comes. Contact! Solid return. Bearing matches, shooter estimate. The shaded cone collapses into a single point. This is him, someone says under their breath. The submarine does not move. It does not speed up. It does not dive away. It does not try to vanish deeper into the water. That is not an accident. It is listening. It wants to know whether its first move succeeds before committing to an escape. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. The torpedo holds its speed. Its course remains direct. It is confident. Inside CIC, another status appears on the board. Countermeasures ready. Decoys standing by. Everything is prepared. Still, they wait. The helicopter refines the fix. The sonar image sharpens. Confirmed submarine contact. No change in speed. That detail lands heavily. A submarine that stays still after launching is not careless. It is deliberate. It believes its move is enough. Then the captain's voice cuts through the room. Shift priority. Shooter is now primary. That is the turning point. The carrier is still in danger, but the logic has changed. The immediate threat is no longer only the torpedo closing the distance. It is the platform that can launch another one. 2 minutes. The helicopter circles once, tight and controlled, keeping its sonar locked. With every pass, the submarine's acoustic signature becomes clearer. Propulsion pattern, shaft rhythm, hull behavior. Everything is being recorded. The torpedo pings again. Closer now. The tactical plot updates in real time. The red vector moves toward the carrier's defensive envelope. The blue marker above the submarine remains steady. Both tracks are moving toward their final moments. One of them is about to be disrupted. Stand by, the captain says. The room seems to stop breathing. 2 hunters, 2 targets. Seconds left before one side makes the wrong move. 05:19 local time. The torpedo crosses another range ring. Inside the Combat Information Center, the tactical picture narrows into a tight corridor. The incoming object is no longer searching, it is moving with purpose. Steady, focused, fully committed. Prepare decoys, the tactical action officer says. The order moves through the room without any rush. Rushing wastes time, precision saves it. On the main display, the carrier's projected wake spreads out behind her like a wide acoustic cloud, shaped by speed, mass, and the calm surface conditions. The incoming object rides along the edge of that disturbance, making small, exact corrections as it follows the sound. Deploy. Behind the carrier, countermeasures slip into the water with careful timing. Quiet, controlled, released to the second. They open behind the ship, creating false targets, artificial sound patterns built to confuse the seeker, draw it away, and pull it off course. For a moment, it works. The track hesitates. The red line wavers, then it bends slightly toward the decoys. Object turning, sonar reports. No one celebrates. No one reacts too soon. Everyone waits. The carrier holds her course. The helicopter keeps its sonar fixed on the submarine, hovering low over the water, rotors hammering the air in a steady rhythm. Then the incoming track shifts again. Correction, sonar says. It's reacquiring. The red line snaps back toward the carrier's real wake. The decoys have been rejected. That is the difference between theory and reality. This system is not just following noise, it is comparing, adjusting, choosing. Countermeasures ineffective. The watchstander says it without surprise. Just confirmation. 1 minute, 50 seconds. The incoming object accelerates slightly, making up for lost distance. Its seeker pulses again, stronger now, sharper than before. Inside CIC, the room grows even quieter. Not from fear, from focus. Every person there understands how small the margin has become. The helicopter crew adjusts position. Shooter remains steady, the sensor operator reports. No maneuvering. That detail changes the meaning of everything. The submarine is still listening, still waiting. It is not committed to escape. It believes the first move will succeed. The captain steps closer to the main display. Helicopter, he says calmly. Mark shooter as hostile. Prepare to engage. There is no dramatic language, no extra explanation, only a clear shift in intent. The helicopter answers with one word. Roger. 1 minute, 30 seconds. The incoming object is now inside the carrier's inner defensive geometry. At last, the ship begins to maneuver. Not sharply, not wildly, deliberately. The bow swings just enough to break the clean pattern. Speed increases again. The wake thickens, twists, and breaks into a more chaotic acoustic shape. The incoming object reacts instantly. Track correcting, sonar calls out. Depth change observed. Now it is working harder, spending energy, processing faster, making more choices in less time, but it is still coming. Inside CIC, another track begins to matter even more. The submarine's signature grows clearer with every second the helicopter holds contact. Its propulsion rhythm is logged. Its acoustic profile is clean, controlled, disciplined. Then something changes. Shooter noise increasing, the helicopter reports. The submarine has made its first real decision. It is moving, not fast, not yet. But the change is unmistakable. It knows it has been found. 1 minute. The incoming object remains the closest danger, but the balance has shifted. The submarine can no longer count on disappearing after the launch. The captain's voice stays level. Engage the shooter. The order does not erase the inbound threat. It changes the shape of the fight. The helicopter begins its run, positioning carefully while keeping sonar contact unbroken. The submarine reacts late, too late, with a shallow turn, trying to slide sideways out of the acoustic cone. That move costs it. The turn sharpens its signature. Contact solid, the helicopter says. Tracking maintained. 30 seconds. The seeker pulses again. Louder now, closer. Inside CIC, no one looks away. Then the sonar operator speaks. Track losing stability, erratic corrections. The carrier's maneuvering, combined with the increasingly broken wake, is weakening the incoming object's solution. It is spending energy chasing a picture that keeps changing. 15 seconds. The helicopter commits. Below the surface, the submarine hears the shift. New sound, new pressure, unmistakable intent. The incoming track breaks its line one final time. It overcorrects. Then the report comes. Lost lock. On the display, the red vector fractures, then fades. The immediate threat is gone. But no one relaxes, because now the hidden hunter knows it has become the target. 0521 local time. The incoming device is no longer the main concern. That fact settles across the Combat Information Center without a single cheer. No one says it out loud. The red track has disappeared from the display, but the room does not relax, because the launch platform is still out there. On the tactical screen, the underwater contact begins to move, slowly at first, then with more purpose. Its speed increases just enough for everyone to notice. Shooter maneuvering, the sonar operator reports. Bearing shifting southeast. That is the first honest signal from below the surface. The submarine is trying to leave. Not in a wild rush. Not in disorder. Just enough movement to create distance, break the lock, and vanish back into depth, temperature layers, and background noise. But it is already too late for that. The helicopter tightens its circle and lowers again, keeping the sonar dome steady beneath the surface. Every pulse comes back clearer now, strengthened by the submarine's own movement. Contact strengthening, the sensor operator says. Cavitation beginning. That is the sound no underwater vessel wants to make. The submarine is pushing harder, trading silence for speed. The ocean exposes that choice immediately. Inside CIC, the tactical picture redraws itself. The submarine's escape path becomes visible, predictable, contained. Farther out, the carrier's escorts increase speed. 2 surface vessels spread wide, cutting off open water and closing the available space. Their movements are controlled, coordinated, and exact. This is no longer simple defense. This is containment. The captain watches the geometry form on the screen. "Keep pressure," he says. "Don't rush." The helicopter adjusts again, sliding just far enough to stay ahead of the submarine's projected path. The sonar picture sharpens. Hull length, propulsion rhythm, depth profile. The submarine turns harder now, trying to slip out of the sonar cone. It fails. "Shooter turning hard," the helicopter reports. "Contact maintained. Every move the submarine makes costs it something. More noise, more exposure, more data. Every second it remains within reach gives the surface force a clearer picture. Then the submarine dives. Fast, its depth increases rapidly as it tries to exchange speed for cover. Pressure builds. Cold layers stack between the vessel and the surface. For a moment, the contact weakens. Then it returns. "Reacquired," the helicopter says calmly. Still tracking. The ocean does not let go that easily. The captain gives one small nod. "Proceed." No further explanation is needed. The helicopter steadies, then commits. A defensive payload drops cleanly into the water. No drama, no wasted motion. It slips beneath the surface and begins its quiet run. Inside CIC, 2 tracks now dominate the display. One is fleeing, one is following. The submarine detects it almost immediately. Its propulsion spikes. Cavitation spreads sharply through the water column. The escape is no longer controlled. It is becoming urgent. The submarine turns again, sharper this time, trying to beat the closing geometry. It cannot. The pursuing system adjusts with cold precision, matching each change, correcting without delay. The gap between the 2 tracks collapses. On the surface, the carrier maintains course, steady and almost distant from the center of the fight. The ship is no longer the focus. Now the message is being delivered below the waves. "Shooter slowing," sonar reports. "Movement irregular." The submarine is running out of choices. Then the contact changes. It stutters, breaks apart, dissolves into scattered noise. The clean propulsion rhythm disappears, replaced by uneven echoes that no longer match controlled movement. The room remains silent. No confirmation, no assumptions. Seconds pass. Then the helicopter reports again. "Shooter no longer maneuvering." That is all. The surface ships reduce speed slightly, holding position around the last known point, watching the water where the submarine was last seen. No sonar pulses chase it now. No further systems pursue. The message has already been sent. Inside CIC, the tactical picture clears. One track is gone. One threat is contained, not announced, not dramatized. Simply removed from the equation. The captain turns away from the display. "Resume posture." The carrier eases back onto her original heading. Engines settle into a steady rhythm. The wake behind her begins to smooth out again. Above decks, aircraft crews return to motion. Hands move across panels. Sailors step back into routine, as if the interruption had never happened. Below the surface, the ocean folds over the last disturbance. Nothing rises. No signal follows. Only silence. And out here, silence is rarely meaningless. 5:26 local time. The ocean returns to routine. On the carrier's bridge, the horizon looks exactly the same as before. Flat water, pale light. Nothing visible to show what moved beneath it only minutes earlier. The ship holds her original course, engines steady at cruise. A clean white line forms behind her as the wake narrows. Inside the Combat Information Center, everything is calm and methodical. No one celebrates. No one turns the moment into a speech. They record. Timestamps are entered. Bearings are logged. Acoustic files are saved, copied, and secured. Every second of the encounter is preserved exactly as it happened. No emotion, no interpretation, only facts. The sonar operator keeps listening, sweeping the same patch of water where the submarine last appeared. In the headphones, there is nothing now but the background voice of the sea. Distant currents, marine noise, soft movement in the water column. Shooter remains silent. It is not relief, it is confirmation. The helicopter makes one final wide circle, slow and deliberate. Then it climbs and turns back toward the carrier. Its task is complete. No urgent calls, no damage reports, only procedure. On the flight deck, the helicopter settles onto steel as smoothly as it lifted away. Chocks go in, rotors wind down. Sailors move close, already resetting the aircraft for whatever may come next. Below decks, the carrier's systems step down one by one from combat posture to monitoring. Screens soften, alerts reset. The rhythm slows, but nothing is forgotten. The captain stands quietly near the edge of CIC, eyes on the cleared plot. Where moments earlier there had been closing lines, intersecting angles, and shrinking distances, there is now empty water. One launch, one response. No follow-on contacts, no second attempt, no further movement from below. The ocean has accepted the result. A final sweep confirms it. No additional contacts, sonar reports. The words are entered into the log and left exactly as they are. Above the waterline, there is no announcement, no broadcast, no visible proof for anyone beyond the ship's company. The carrier does not change speed to make a point. It does not launch aircraft for display. It does not linger. It simply continues. That is the message. In naval warfare, absence can matter more than presence. Silence can carry farther than noise. And restraint, when backed by capability, can say more than any signal ever could. Somewhere below the surface, the submarine is no longer part of the fight. Whether damaged, withdrawing, or simply silent, no longer changes the outcome. What matters is that it is gone, and it did not launch again. Inside CIC, a junior watchstander checks the clock and writes the final entry for the event. The log does not close with a dramatic line. It closes with a statement so plain, it nearly disappears among the data. Inbound torpedo defeated, shooter contained, carrier mission uninterrupted. That is all. No adjectives, no conclusions. The carrier moves on, unchallenged, unchanged in direction, unchanged in intent. Behind her, the ocean smooths itself out, erasing the wake, swallowing the sound, restoring the illusion that nothing happened there at all. But beneath the surface, the lesson remains. One torpedo was launched. It never reached its target. And the platform that launched it did not decide how that day ended. Out here, that is all that needs to be said.